And I think we're live.
Yeah,
it's counting down. We'll see.
Yeah,
Sometimes it says the participant number there is 0 when we start. But anyway, welcome to my stream on what are we doing? We're Millennials discuss
What are we doing?
90s teen horror films. It's very specific, very niche. I am joined today by my guests Sharad and the Dark Papi. Obviously Papi Zak from last week's Baby Reindeer stream. But this is our first time having Sharad as a guest for any of my streams. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I don't have any like specific plan about how we're gonna go ahead, and like I just watched a whole bunch of 90s teen horror films in the last week and a half because I was feeling nostalgic and it's Halloween month. So I'm like, woo, let's go back to my teen years. I mean, the first movie that is the most well known, I think, from the 90s as a teen horror is, of course, Scream, which came out in 96. Mm-hmm. I was 12 when that movie came out. And what I remember at the time was, you know, all of my friends in high school or, you know, people I knew in high school, I don't know if I considered them friends, but anyway, like I was not good with friendships back then. But everyone was sneaking into the cinema to go and see Scream because they were all under 15 and it was rated MA 15 plus in Australia. And I'm like, what is this thing that I don't think I'd ever seen a proper like horror film at that point in my life. So it was like, I like that seems scary. I think I ended up I did not see it in the theater. But I think I might have gone to see I Know What You Did Last Summer in the theater, even though I wasn't, because that came out in 98 and I was 14 then. Anyway, so those were like the two big ones, but I still have my DVD collection. So that's kind of where this came from. I was like, and I was going to bring in Final Destination as well, and then I realized it came out in 2000, so it's not the 90s anymore.
So check it out. My phone doesn't recognize my facial recognition.
Well, it's because you're wearing a mask, Zach. You're Batman now. Batman. That's why.
It should work. It's just the eyes, no?
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's just the whole face, right?
I think it's more of the face because you know how some people will do the, and it doesn't quite come out. So who knows?
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
What are you supposed to be?
Me? Oh, I'm a generic 90s teen girl horror movie victim. So like I've got the little black dress on showing off my cleavage. I've got the choker. I've got the flannel. And you know the whole makeup thing going on. These sunglasses are genuine sunglasses from the 90s that I still have. Okay, let me just change it off so there we go. Look at that.
Yeah. Very Ryan Felipe in Cruel Intentions.
Oh man, I have seen that movie so many times. I love that movie.
So do I.
Not a horror though. Maybe we should do a different stream discussing that one. I also have
biggest sluts of the 90s.
Yeah.
Look, I had a crush on almost everyone in that cast apart from Selma Blair. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Felipe, Reese Witherspoon. They're all awesome. Anyway, you know, and those, you know, so famous for. Oh my God, Ryan Felipe and Sarah Michelle Gellar were both in I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is a horror film. So let's segue back into that one.
See what I did?
Yeah. Well
There
done.
you go. There you go. So yeah, let's discuss that one first. I totally went and saw that one because of having crushes on pretty much the entire cast as well. I don't think I didn't know that I was bisexual then, but totally, totally, totally had crushes on the female cast as well as Ryan Felipe. So, oh, and Johnny Galecki. Oh my God, Johnny Galecki.
Oh, Babyface. Yeah, the Babyface. I remember him.
Oh man, I only remember it was him by looking at the back.
Wow.
seeing he was in it. Freddie Prinze Jr. of course as well.
Isn't Galecki the first one to get killed in that film?
I think so.
Yeah, he's the first one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But man, he was my crush in Roseanne too. So so of course he was the reason I also watched Big Bang Theory. But anyway, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I have not. I watched this one a couple of years ago. It was not one of the ones that I watched just in the last couple of weeks, but I still have fond memories of it. Thoughts, feelings?
The thoughts and feelings about the movie when it came.
Yes,
I mean, I thought when it came out, it was just it was in that hype of like teen horror, like Scream, era. So Wes Craven had his Scream series, and then like they thought, hey, let's capitalize on these sluts getting killed.
Right. Well, I mean, sluts being killed was a thing pre-90s, but I mean, Scream came about as it was meant to be a spoof of those 80s horror flicks, right? And then they kind of made more of a series of them. And then Scary Movie came out, which was meant to be a spoof on the Scream movies, which was already a spoof itself. So it's like, was that really necessary?
Yes.
I didn't like Scary Movie, so that's not one that I have. But I know that's more a comedy, or it's meant to be a comedy.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm getting a little superhero fatigued at the moment, so I welcome if one of these movies would make a comeback and start.
They have been making more Scream movies. Have you seen any of the recent ones, Zach?
Yeah, there was like Scream 5, 6, 7 or something like that, or something crazy.
I'm a purist.
Yeah. But Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox and David Arquette came back for
the last one.
Not the most recent one. Well, is there another one since
the one, Jenny Ortega?
Well, then there was one other one after that.
Oh gosh, of course it was.
Yeah. There's been 2, I think, since the pandemic.
Forgettable ones, actually. But yeah, going back to I Know What You Did Last Summer, I think the of course the breakout starring role went to Jennifer Love Hewitt and her boobies.
What are you waiting for?
Exactly.
What are you waiting for?
That's what people go to see the horror films for, right? Like that's like I said, this is the whole reason I got the whole cleavage thing going on with my get up right now. Gotta have that. I don't normally dress like this unless I really want to get my tits out. It's a rare occasion. Anyway, I think God, I wish I'd rewatched this one recently. It's been, like I said, it's been a couple of years. God, man, they're all the whole cast is all attractive. So crushes all around.
Didn't Wes Craven say that he did this because it was meant to be a sort of spoof of what was going on? Like that was like the zeitgeist of what was happening. So he put all these little tropes in there.
In I Know What You Did Last Summer, or you mean Scream?
Both.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were at competition with each other.
Yeah, I thought so too. and I didn't. And Wes Craven is not the director of I Know What You Did Last Summer. It was Jim Gillespie.
Oh, well, there you go then. There you go. My mistake.
Yeah. Wes Craven did the Scream ones.
Okay. Do you know if did this come out before or after Scream?
I Know What You Did Last Summer was 98. Scream was 96.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so Craven beat him to it. All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I think most of the movies that I had were from, let's see, Urban Legend was 98.
Mm-hmm.
Idle Hands was 99. The Faculty was 98.
Blair Witch was 96, right?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
I didn't like Blair Witch as much. I know it was like a big deal that, because it was the first movie that was made in that kind of way at the time, but I didn't think it was that well done.
The film itself was kind of meh, but the behind the scenes and the atmosphere around it, that was what sold it, really.
Mm-hmm. The promotion for it, like they made people believe that it was
real. It was a real thing.
Yeah, it was a real thing. Yeah, I remember like we got the VCD, the old school.
Oh my god.
And, I remember like I was watching, like my sister is hardcore into horror. Well, she was when we were kids, not so much anymore. And I remember watching it, and I remember her looking through the VCD booklet and just kind of going, "Reela, this is Reela. I think it's Reela." So like, yeah, it really, really did put us through a whole thing. It was fantastic.
So I was going to say also The Craft is the other one that I have on DVD, and that was 96 as well. So same year as Scream. Neve Campbell did 2 horror films in the same year.
But she's the Scream queen.
She's so good. Well, I mean, The Craft, it's technically horror. I wasn't sure if it classified well enough as horror to talk about this in this stream, because it's not like a slasher horror kind of film as much. I mean, The Faculty isn't either, but still, because it's witches and witchcraft rather than
witches
murderers. But they murdered people, so they murdered people too. Yeah, I guess that wasn't really that common yet either, having like a full cast of women teenagers in a film like that at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was around the same kind of era as, like, was it Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, and Nicole Kidman.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You don't remember that, Papi?
I forgot about that movie.
It has been so long since I've seen it. I think I've only seen it like once or twice anyway, so I don't remember anything about it.
I think more people just remember it for the poster rather than anything else. The both of them just going like that. That's pretty much
it. Yeah. But so the Craft was the movie that got me onto my kick of rewatching the films like a week and a half ago, because I was thinking about Neve Campbell. I was like, oh man, it's been so long since I've seen The Craft. I should put that on. And then after I watched that, I was like, you know what? I want to watch Idle Hands now, which was one of my favorites, but it felt like an underrated that didn't have as much audience, because it's like horror comedy, and
it was a good stoner movie. I thought
it was a stoner movie. Yeah, I'm not someone who usually appreciates the stoner movies with people getting high and that sort of thing. But I had a massive crush on Seth Green and Devon Sawa, so that's why I watched it. What?
Me too.
You too? Oh wow. Okay.
There's a recurring theme here. We're not really looking for horror movies.
When you are a teenager and you're horny. Oh shoot, hang on. My flesh makeup came off. I'm just gonna leave it off
Oh,
now. It's
no.
gonna keep falling off otherwise. Sorry. I'll share photos of what it actually looked like more close up later. Yeah, when you're a horny teenager and wanting to watch horror films, you're gonna go see the films that you have crushes on the other teenagers in them, right? that's what you
Well,
do.
I mean, wasn't that the kind of unwritten rule, like that if you show off too much skin, or if you have sex on camera, that you're pretty much going to die.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't
Oh
that
yeah. That was one of the rules that they definitely pointed out in Scream.
Yeah.
They definitely talked about that because there was
Yeah,
that one character
if
in
you
that
were the
movie, right?
virgin, you'd survive all the way through the end, right?
If
Yeah.
you were a
Oh.
virgin, yeah.
Interesting.
Because there's that one character in Scream that starts listing off all of the rules.
Yeah.
I do recall in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, the Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
It was my first horror movie I've ever watched ever.
Oh wow.
And there was this virgin kid that got seduced by a nurse who happened to be Freddy Krueger. So he totally made out with a dude, but he died a virgin.
So it's not actually a rule. There you go.
I suppose he was being tempted into doing something, so maybe that kind of cancels each other out.
The kissing was enough to get him killed.
Well,
yeah, he only got to like second base. That's about it.
Yeah, he gets your boobs and everything. Well, Freddy's boobs. So
he's like, second base. Okay. I know.
And I'm done.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So going back to Idle Hands, because like I said, it was one of my favorites. But yeah, they really were big stoners. Watching actually, sorry, I'm to jump movies again, but when I rewatched Urban Legend, I was like, oh my god, Jared Leto was in this. Like I completely forgot about that.
Oh gosh,
yeah. Because I was just like, because he does not have the best reputation these days.
Right. Why, what's he done now?
No, right. Just like I don't think people liked his Joker and other things. I don't know. I don't remember what else he's done recently.
I don't know. I just find it really interesting that a lot of high-profile actors will obviously get their starts in horror films. Like obviously Johnny Depp's the famous one.
Mm-hmm. Like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Nightmare. So I mean, it's cool to see people in the 90s to early 2000s see where they are now. They're like, most of them usually are bigger stars.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, they didn't all, like the teens who were the stars of the horror films in the 90s, they didn't just stick to horror genre. They were in a lot of different things as well. Like, I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar was the star of Buffy at the time. And Jennifer Love Hewitt and Neve Campbell were both in Party of Five. Seth Green was also in Buffy. Devon Sawa, I think his debut was Casper when he came, the human Casper, right? And then he was also in Now and Then, opposite Christina Ricci. Oh man, we could have talked about Adam. Yes, but that one's 2000 and also a horror. Look, I have that here too. See, but like I said, it's 2000, so shouldn't be discussing it because it's the year after. But I mean, that's a classic as well. This also spurned off a whole bunch of sequels that are still going today, right? Yeah. It's like 20 years later, 24 years later.
Yeah.
The movie that made people not want to drive behind a truck that's carrying logs.
I still can't do it.
That's what Final Destination is known for.
Like I have an apartment up in Ginting. I try to go up to about once a month if I can. And going up there, there's always usually trucks carrying God knows what. And whenever I see a log, I'm just like, nope, nope,
Nope.
not today,
Nope.
Satan, not today. I was just like, lag behind.
Yeah. 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 I think urban legend was kind of also in the spoof ranks as well, I suppose, because they built off all of the urban legends that were discussed in through high schools and stuff at the time, or like around campfires, I guess, were probably where they told those kinds of stories too, right? When they went camping. I'm not that kind of I didn't have that kind of youth, but I get that impression from movies, I suppose, that's how people told those kinds of urban legend stories in America.
And I don't know, like I recall that the reveal was such a like myth.
Oh, for who the killer was? Yeah.
Yeah.
Having that been the one that I watched most recently, yeah. I think the most unusual aspect of it was just because it was a woman that was the killer, right? It's like, oh, it's actually a woman. But I don't know. Is that common in other? I haven't watched very many horror films since the 90s. I've seen a few, but not that many.
I mean, it was. I think they try to make it different. It's like, no, it's a supplies. It's a woman.
Supplies.
Because they kept like trying to hint that it was somebody else, like the faculty member that was teaching the urban legends. They tried to make you think it was him. I don't know. I think they kind of tried to make you think it was possibly Joshua Jackson's character, so he was faking his death. Yeah, I got confused when I was watching it. I got confused because he has the same hair in Urban Legend as he has in Cruel Intentions, and so I was getting his character mixed up with his Cruel Intentions character, where he's gay and does all this stuff. I was like, oh man. Then I got disappointed because it wasn't that same one.
But remind me, like, what were the urban legends that
So the first one was they had the axe murderer hiding in the back seat and killing the driver as she was driving. They had the flashing the headlights thing, so people driving without the headlights, so that the oncoming traffic would flash at them, and then they'd like come around, like turn on their lights and like run the other car off the road.
Actually, that's a gang initiation.
Yeah, they talked about that. They had the having a date in the secluded place, and then having the boyfriend get hung from a tree and having his fingers or toes scratching at the roof of the car. Yeah, those were the main ones, I guess. There were other ones as well.
Did they talk about as well, like an empty dormitory hall having a massacre or something?
Yes. Yeah, that was the big one that they were kind of basing it, or like the anniversary of that was when the night that all the rest of the murders happened. Yeah. So, and Tara Reid was in that urban legend as well. Oh, wow. If you remember her, I feel like she's more well known from the American Pie movies.
Yeah.
So that was a nice surprise to see. Oh yeah, that's right, she was in this. Did Alicia Witt was the star of that one, right?
Yeah.
Was she known for anything else after that? Because I don't feel like I remember seeing her in anything else.
Funny thing, because I was looking up her Wikipedia. She's still active, but she's like her latest Instagram post is like, "Spend Christmas with me."
From this year or last year?
This year lah.
Okay.
Does she have one of those special only accounts, or is it one of those?
No, I think she sings maybe.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that's different.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I have moved on to Alicia with nude pics.
Oh my goodness. No, Zach.
No,
Yes, Zach. Yes, Zach.
no, because you have to if you want to make it big.
Research.
You have to, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, come on. It's for science.
Oh my goodness. Okay then. Moving on. Sorry, I'm not surprised, Zach. You were talking about the pirates porno in the last stream that we did, so I should not.
That laugh, like.
Memories.
We should do like porn spoofs.
We can talk all day for that, pal. We can talk all day
Oh
for
my
that.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Maybe not on one of my streams. We can do that on your channel,
Okay.
Zach.
There's the girl with the cleavage out.
Yeah, no.
Purely for aesthetic reasons.
Oh. When she does it, it's art.
Yeah. When you do it, it's a crime. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Look, I'm trying to build a following and an audience here, okay? This maybe makes me look younger than I am. I mean, I already look younger than I am, regardless of whether I dress up like this. I'm 40 years old. I don't look it, regardless of. I have a couple of gray or silver hairs, but you can't tell on camera. And I like to pluck them out to pretend that I don't have gray hairs.
Yeah, I'm sure Papi and I can relate.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry. Look, my hair is so long, right? It's just it keeps going.
Yeah.
Yeah, rub it in. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm a lady. It would be weird if I'd gone bald.
Yeah,
unless I had cancer. Like that would be.
Yeah.
Oh my god, where am I going with this? Oh my goodness. All right, let's jump back in. So we haven't really discussed the faculty yet. Let me jump into that one.
Actually, okay, to be honest, that is the only movie I've never watched.
You've never seen? It's Aliens.
Yeah, that's probably why.
You don't like alien horror films?
No, I mean, aliens like me. Unless you're blowing them up like, Starship Troopers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it because you just don't have a crush on any of the cast, the ladies in the film? So it has Jordana Brewster.
She's cute.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is pre Fast and Furious days, so she's even hotter, like younger.
Yeah. See? Clea Duvall, who I had a massive I had a massive crush on her. Absolutely.
She's beautiful.
She's like got these really, really nice freckles on her face. Always has short hair, kind of a bit tall, a little bit lanky. Yeah, I've always loved seeing her. But she never had any starring roles in anything. But I always enjoyed her. And then Laura Harris was the other main one. Oh, Famke Janssen was in it. Was one of the teachers.
Yeah, she played Jean Grey.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Is Salma Hayek in it too?
Yes. Salma Hayek is also in it. She's the nurse.
Of course she is.
Yeah. And then in terms of the male cast, we've got Josh Hartnett and Elijah Wood.
Yes.
Oh, and Sean Hattersey, who played Iceman, right? In X-Men?
No.
No? Sean Hattersey.
That's another Sean.
That was a different Sean. What else is he? I know him from something
Sean
else.
Ashmore is
Okay.
Ashmore, that's it.
Hattersey.
How do I know? Because I'm watching The Rookie with Sean.
Well, okay, so what else has he done then? Because I feel like I've seen him in other stuff. Oh,
Sean.
he was in Down to You with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Julia Stiles.
Oh.
Animal Kingdom, Southland, Rescue, High Surf, Alpha Dog, Outside Providence. So coincidentally, Alpha Dog has Olivia? What's her face?
Newton-John? No. Olivia who?
Do we not know Olivia Wilde?
Oh yeah, Olivia Wilde. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sharon Stone was in that as well, isn't she?
Wait, which movie are we talking about now?
Alpha Dog, since you brought it up.
I haven't seen that one, so I have no idea.
Yeah, Sharon Stone was in it.
Yeah.
And that was based on a true story.
Yeah, that's been too wild. Yeah.
Sorry, I just remember I had another memory from The Faculty. Jon Stewart is in The Faculty as well.
Wow.
He gets
His acting
stabbed
days.
in the eye with the antidote for the aliens, the thing that gets the aliens dead.
Mm.
Do you have a film from the 90s that still sticks with you today?
I mean,
like along the teen horror genre, is there anything that's still?
Oh, just in the. I think Idle Hands is the biggest one. Just because it's so funny and stupid and like.
It's
you know,
cool,
he doesn't know he's the killer because he's so stoned. And then like with his friends that he kills, and then they decide that they don't want to go to heaven, so they come back. Like, how does that happen? I don't know. So there's Seth Green and Eldon Henson, who these days is or more recently was in the Daredevil Netflix series, which is now on Disney Plus. Yeah, so when I saw him in that, I was like, oh my god, it's that guy from Idle Hands. Like that.
The avocados at law?
Sorry?
The avocados at law?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear very well.
Avocados at law?
I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely didn't watch Daredevil, probably.
Oh. Look, it's been a while, okay? I binge watched the whole thing in 2020.
Oh, fair enough.
And you never rewatched it?
Only the first season when I wanted to show it to my daughter.
It's not even the good season.
Maybe I'll rewatch it eventually again. I've got so many other things to watch right now. There's always new things to watch, and yet I'm rewatching 90s horror films. Me and my nostalgia. Yeah. God, miss the teen years, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know why.
And I'm surprised none of you are talking about the most important aspect of this movie.
Which is?
Jessica Alba is hot.
Oh, yeah, okay. My brother had a crush on her, so
We all did.
Dude,
not
come
so much
on.
for me. Not compared to the other ones.
I think she kind of like started it all for me, like when I like girls with like pixie cuts and fairy outfit, like.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think she kind of did it for me with was it Sin City?
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah.
what
I
I'm talking
mean,
about.
that
You know what
one
I'm
was
talking
yeah.
about.
Dude,
Yeah.
my baby's all grown up and stripping at bars.
But yeah, I think the 90s really did kind of elevate screen queens more so than the 80s. I think 80s they're kind of knocking on the door a bit more. 90s they were everywhere, weren't they?
Yeah, I think because I don't know, I don't remember the 80s horror films really having standout stars that went on to do, apart from what's her name from the Halloween films.
But Drew Barrymore.
No.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie.
What's her name? Who is in Everything Everywhere All at Once, right?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, sorry. Yes. Sorry. I'm I'm
did it
sorry.
like
My headphones are only coming out of one ear right now, and it's like a little bit muffled. So
You guys talk amongst yourself, blah blah blah.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna turn my volume up. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help. There we go. Yeah.
But, like I remember Robert Englund will always be Freddy.
Mm-hmm. Up until the remake that came out not that long ago.
Yeah, for me, horrors in the 80s were just slasher movies, and then it wasn't about. For me, it wasn't about who's the pretty girl that's getting slashed or whatever like that. It's just about just stab some kids already. These kids are just right. Right. But now I think when I watch the 90s one, I'm looking at the girls. I'm like, oh, don't kill her. She's
yeah, I want her to survive. Yeah.
Yeah. And and I think now that horror has evolved to like what all the productions that's coming out of Blumhouse, especially, it was like, ooh, okay. It leaves you thinking like, is it supernatural or is it? Yeah.
I don't really watch very many current horror films. I did watch one more recently that came out this year. Have you heard of Afraid?
Nope.
Remind us.
It just came out in June or July, I think. It's about an AI is the bad guy.
Of course it is.
So it's spelled with the AI in Afraid as highlighted as a different color and as AI.
Nice. I like that. That's nice.
And it stars John Cho. I love him in all the stuff that he does. He does like a lot of really great stuff.
Oh, is it anything related to the Missing series that he did?
I don't know if is it connected to those ones, but Missing was great. I loved those films.
Yeah.
And the one that came after that.
So you see now horror is more in like, in so many words, it's more realistic. Like it's not the pretty face. It's not the
Searching was the one that came after.
Yeah.
Those movies were so good. Yeah, horror is more realistic these days, apart from, the new Scream ones that are based on the, the old ones that are or like sequels continuing on the saga. I don't know. I like the realistic ones. Like those ones, but are they still making Paranormal Activity movies as well? I feel like they went on for a while, and I've seen maybe 2 of them.
I wonder if there were quite a few, wasn't there? Like there was like the marked ones or blah blah blah. A whole bunch.
I think there's like at least 7 Paranormal Activity movies.
7?
At least, I feel like. Now I'm gonna Google it.
No, because it's weird. Because some of them ended up becoming about time travel instead of just horror, which was a bit
Shut
weird.
up.
Like you see, like people in like the fourth or the fifth film would travel back to the first or the second film,
Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
all the sounds that you hear in those films is actually from them. It didn't quite make sense in the end. I'm like, where is this going?
2021 looks like was the most recent Paranormal Activity movie, which wasn't that long ago. It was 3 years.
Which one was it?
Next of kin.
Like,
I think the one that you could time travel on is the what? The ghost dimension.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the one. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, there's a smart way to do it. Like if you guys have watched Insidious, where that's the time travel aspect, I think that was pretty interesting. But this one, I was watching it and I was like, no, just don't.
Okay, tell me about Insidious. I'm not familiar with this one, but I keep getting ads. There's going to be a stage production of Insidious here in San Francisco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I keep getting ads for it. So tell me about it because I'm not familiar with it at all.
Well, I mean, in some ways, it's interesting because in some ways you can sort of see the connection to Freddy Krueger in the sense that dreams, how real are they? Are they part of imagination, or do we actually, go into a different plane and what have you? And so with like with that it's very very similar about people who can astral project, but so, as a child, obviously, like when this happens to a child, he doesn't think that he's astral projecting. He just thinks that he's having a really cool dream, right? And so he has no fear. He can do whatever he wants to do. He wants to be Superman, so he's flying around and what have you. But because he has no fear, all the other ghosts are like, "Who's this little shit?" And they're like, "Oh, like okay, so maybe I'll I can there's a body waiting for me." So yeah, so I mean, like in that sense, it's quite interesting, and it really does bring open, like, it's not just quote unquote demons or what have you. There's just something else. So yeah, quite interesting.
And I mean, this is also like a side thing, but do you feel like when they show the audience what the demon is like, that kind of ruins the whole mysteriousness like when they would like in Insidious they talk about this what fire faced demon or something, and then and immediately your imagination is going wild and you're thinking of the most scariest thing ever, and that just builds on as the movie progresses. But then at one point, I think they showed the being, and then you're kind of like, oh.
It was disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, if
do you feel like that with any kind of film that does that sort of thing, or was it?
Yeah, when it comes to paranormal stuff like that, I think it's best you left it at, like, even Conjuring, right? Love the first one, and then the second one, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's something about suspense and not knowing.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't. How do you guys feel about that? Like, how do you feel like should they be left to your imagination, or like do
I
you
think
want
it probably depends on how well they make it look. If it seems scarier to see it than not see it, then I guess it would be worth doing it. But if it's scarier to not have evidence of what it looks like, then yeah, I don't see why they would need to.
Yeah, I think if we go back to even before the 90s, like I remember I was watching this documentary with about Jaws, right? And Spielberg was saying that you don't see the shark until in the end, and the entire time you're just building and building and building. And that's terrifying alone. And but obviously, with like the reason why he didn't bring up the shark earlier physically was because he said, like, not so many words, it looked like a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like, it didn't look right, and where else now you have the budget, you have the costume, special effects, makeup artists, blah, blah, blah. They can pretty much create everything, but it just goes down to the creative aspect. Because once you do see something, does that kind of take away the fear later on? I don't know.
So yeah, even like in The Village when they're the beach.
Yeah, but like after The Sixth Sense, were there any of his films that people appreciated to like the full extent?
Right.
I feel like all of them were to some extent letdowns.
I don't know. Honestly, I love The Last Airbender, but I don't know.
You bullshit. I have not watched that one just because I've heard so much awful stuff about it.
I mean, like, if you want to watch something like so bad it's good, I mean, it's bad. There's nothing good about it, but just like get really drunk with some friends, have a good time.
I feel like I could find 1,000 other better things to do with my time. Pretty sure I could.
But in terms of teen horror, would you say 90s was like the golden years really of teen horror, or was it the 80s, the 2000s?
No, I feel like the 90s, absolutely. I feel like they had the most and maybe it's just because that was my generation, right? That's what I grew up in as I was a teen and in that era. So I was watching them as I was around the same age group as or just a little bit younger than the characters on screen. But I mean, a lot of the actors that were in those films were in so many other things that we appreciated them in as well. So it was just kind of an era for those teen stars that went on to. I mean, I'm sure they were in their 20s when they were acting, but you know what I mean.
Someone in the late 20s playing someone in the teens.
Yeah. So I don't know what teen horror movies came out in the 2000s. Can you? I don't think I watched any because I wasn't a teenager anymore.
Oh, you grew up.
I grew up.
Lost your virginity.
Apart from Final Destination, like after Final Destination.
Let me see what Google has to say.
Yeah.
Please do. Yeah. Please do.
What a surprise. Number one is Twilight. So let's not talk about that. House of Wax. That was famous just for having what's her name in it. Valentine was a good one.
I don't think I watched that one. I feel like the 2000s. That's when the Saw movies started, right? It was the 2000s.
I think so. Yeah.
And so I saw the first one. I didn't. What's that?
Dracula came out. Dracula 2000.
Oh, that was great. I love that with Gerard Butler playing Dracula. Yeah. That was good. I love that.
American Psycho.
Okay, but yeah.
Ooh. This was a 90s one as well? American Werewolf in Paris.
Oh, and that was earlier 90s.
That was 90s, right?
Oh, that's very cool.
I liked that one. I have that one as well on DVD.
Oh, nice.
Zach was talking about my massive DVD and Blu-ray collection in the last stream. So, yes, Zach, I still have all of those films and more now.
Do you still watch them regularly?
Do you still have a VHS player?
I do not. No. No, the VCR that I was using when I was in Malaysia was my ex-husband's.
Ooh, this one, guys. How could we forget Leprechaun in the Hood?
Yes.
Because
Ah,
I haven't
that's so
heard of it.
good. You've never seen
Warwick
it.
Warwick
Really?
Davis rapping.
Yeah, and he's like swearing and drinking, and he's doing all kinds of shit. It's amazing.
Irish accent.
Yeah,
Ooh,
no, but
Hollow Man.
but you could tell that Warwick Davis had a good time in that film.
uh,
All right. Sorry, Zach sent me a WhatsApp message just to ask about a technical thing.
No, you're
So I was just checking through. I don't know. Zach's got some weird thing happening on his screen. He can't see me, but it seems to be fine on on the stream. So
now it's fine. Now it's fine.
No, it's
okay.
good. Yeah.
All right. Maybe it was a temporary thing. My computer is a little slow sometimes. I have to close all of my browser tabs before I start streaming because I worry that it's gonna crap out on me.
Yeah. All your porn sites that
Zach, what did we establish in the last stream? I don't really watch porn.
yeah,
He does. The lady dog protests too
the
much.
dinner.
I just flash my cleavage on a stream instead.
Fair enough.
For the entire
Ooh.
stream. I don't normally dress like this when I'm streaming, to be fair.
Sure, you
This
know.
is just for this stream. But if it builds audience, if people want to ask for it, then I can adjust.
There you go.
I might be
Gotta give the
40 years
audience
old,
what
but
Give the audience what they want.
That's what apparently that's what works, right? That's what I keep hearing. But
Yeah.
I've never been able to make my sexuality work in my favor in that regard. I feel like I don't know why. Maybe because I'm too goofy. I'm too.
Speaking of goofy, like in terms of like horror films, why do goofy people never survive till the end? Why?
Because
They
they're
keep it
too
like
dumb to stay alive.
Yeah, but goofy doesn't not necessarily mean dumb, though, right? I mean, but they're always usually the second or the third person killed.
Give us some examples, Sharad. Give us some examples.
I don't know. Jesus Christ. No, but like
Putting you on the spot now.
Yeah.
No, because these horror movies after the whole the horror that they endured. Here's the goofy guy. He's like, "Hey, I wonder what this button does," and then
I was thinking of David Arquette in the Scream movies. Like he's pretty goofy, and he survives several films.
Yeah, fair enough.
And until the most recent one that he was in, I think he died in that. Sorry, spoilers.
Ooh, 2000s. I think the breakout movie, like horror movie, I would say out of the list that I'm looking at right now, is Ju-on.
Wait, which one?
Ju-on. The Japanese.
Yeah. I don't think I saw it.
Of course.
See, look, I stopped watching horror. I stopped watching horror after the 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
When did Cabin in the Woods come out? That was in the 2010s, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that one in Malaysia when I was living there. So I think it was 2010s.
Yeah, that was a great one.
It's like a Leprechaun in the Hood, Warwick Davis, and Ice-T.
Ice-T, yes. Didn't they do a sequel with called Leprechauns in Space?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. So I need to check these movies out. I'm guessing it sounds like
It's great. It's great. You just need to watch it. It's all we can say.
Wait, what's it called again? Leprechauns and
Leprechaun in the Hood. Leprechauns in the Hood, and
Just watch the whole series.
yeah, I just watched the whole thing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The first one's got Jennifer Aniston in it, right?
Yeah,
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'll check that out.
And she does not get naked.
I feel like there were a lot of zombie ones that came out in the 2000s.
No.
Like what? Like the what's it called? That franchise? The about the games and like the Resident Evil. That's it.
Yes. When was World War Z? Was that was the?
Oh, that was.
Though?
Yeah.
2007.
2013. Like 28 days. When was that?
That was like 2001, 2002.
28 days later was
2002.
Yeah,
it is a 2000 movie.
Yeah.
But they're coming out with a new one, right?
Are they?
28 years later. So 28 days later, 28 weeks later was 2007. Was that a sequel? That was right?
Yeah.
28 days.
So now it's going to be 28 years later. That's coming out next year. That's not 28 years after 2002. It's just because they had to have the 28. They should be releasing it in 2030. It needs another 5 years on it. They can make it now, but they still have to wait and release it in 2030. I feel like. Wow.
Doesn't 28 Weeks Later have Robert Carlyle in it?
Let me have a look.
Can someone check?
I am. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a fun one.
Wow, and Rose Byrne.
Oh yes. She turned into a bit of a scream queen herself after the Insidious films, right?
Oh, is she in that too?
Wasn't she?
I know her from, I think, Two Hands, which is an Australian film.
What's that about?
It's got Heath Ledger in it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Heath Ledger, and I have this one on DVD. You guys need to come visit so you can watch my movies.
Just watch loads of films on DVD, yeah.
It's never about the story, Sharad. It's like, who is the cover on the poster?
So yeah, Two Hands it's a comedy crime film released in '99, starring Heath Ledger and Rose Byrne.
Wow. Wired is saying that 28 years later was filmed on iPhone.
What? On Earth? Serious? Oh my goodness. When was Cloverfield was the 2010s as well, right? Yeah. I liked that one. Oh no, 2008. I thought I watched that in Malaysia. Maybe I must have watched it before oh wait, when in 2008 did it come out? I moved to Malaysia in 2008. So maybe I watched it in Malaysia. Because I thought that was a better done style of film that Blair Witch Project had. But I felt like Cloverfield was done better in that style of filmmaking.
Again, Cloverfield nice, but when they start showing the monsters.
Yeah, that part. that was the film that I thought of when you were talking about that, Zach. Yeah.
How can I share this article with you? Like, do I put it in the chat?
There's a private chat. In Restream. You can see that underneath us, our faces.
Oh, yeah. It's really funny that you mentioned that a lot of films or projects now are being shot on phones or what have you. I actually had a meeting yesterday. It's really funny you bring this up. I had a meeting yesterday where companies are ditching all the the classic film cameras, even the really expensive ones like the Reds or what have you, because nowadays people are shooting on cameras, because if you look at, let's say, Xiaomi or whomever, you pitch to them, okay, this is going to be done on film on cameras. We're only going to be using your cameras, so give us plenty of them, and it looks great. And I think some of them have audio mics attached to them, or a different, like some of those, right? And they look pretty decent. Now, obviously, if I'm not too sure about the particulars, I think most of them are in 1080p. Some of them are a bit higher, depending on what you can shoot at. And it looks fine, but all I know is a lot of old school film people, cinematographers, and what have you, they don't like it at all. they don't like it.
Some people are snobs.
Some people are pure.
I don't know. I don't know if I've seen any films that were shot on iPhone. I feel like if it fits, if it works, fine. I liked, missing and searching because of the style that those ones were made. The story was told through the screens, basically. But not everyone should be making films like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you do it too much, then it becomes like overdone, right?
Well, I mean, I remember at one point, was it 20 years ago, they had the whole 3D phase. Everything was in 3D, right? So after a while, I was like, fuck, dude, come on. Like, so everything. Yeah. Like, I remember, like, I think they even had, it started off with like Jaws in 3D, but that was much earlier. Then later on, everything in 2000 was 3D. And unless
Shark Girl and what? No, Shark Guy and Lava Girl.
Was that 3D?
That was 3D.
Yeah.
Like Spy Kids 3D.
Yeah. No, see, like that's different, because those were filmed in 3D, like specific 3D cameras. But whereas I think 9 out of 10 of them, they'll be post converted into 3D. It just doesn't look good.
Okay.
It doesn't look good. Like I remember I was in Australia. I was in Melbourne, and I was watching the latest. I think it's a Clash of the Titans films. Do you remember that with what's his name, Liam Neeson playing Zeus? Yeah, and I remember watching it. We watched it in 3D. My cousin and we were watching it, and within 5 minutes, I was like, "This really hurts. My head hurts, my nose hurts, and everything hurts."
But so, I have to commend James Cameron though. Like, he really locked down that 3D stuff. I mean, despite I can understand why Clash of the Titans would have been like a big headache, because all that fast action and swooping and going through. But James Cameron's Avatar, like Way of Water, was just like, even in my peripherals, everything was still maintained properly. It didn't give me a headache. So I was one of those guys that I don't want to watch Avatar in 3D, but
but you went anyway.
Yeah, but it was I was pleasantly surprised.
Do you remember any? I think that there was one 90s film. I think it was A Nightmare on Elm Street in 3D. Wasn't that a big one at one point?
I think it was like one of his. Is the later ones? It's not the original 80s. Like.
No, but what was it? Was it Dream Warriors? That one was in 3D. No. No.
I don't know.
As much as I would have loved to see the nurse's titties in 3D.
You got me. There you
go. I don't think I saw any of like the classic 80s horror films until the 2000s, I think. Yeah.
Do you think that would have changed your opinion watching it as an adult compared to if you watched it as a kid?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, because if you're watching things like horror movies as a kid, then you're more likely to get freaked out by it, I suppose. And like even more classic ones, like I didn't watch It, the original It, and The Exorcist until like 2 or 3 years ago.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. I was going through a I need to be watching these films kick and just catching up on things that I should have already watched by then.
Better late than never. So that's good.
Yeah. Still haven't seen Carrie. What? I need to check that one out, I suppose.
Which one?
Oh, look, we have we have a chatter. Ash D says, "Hello, love 90s Halloween horror films. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite, Ash?" We've just been talking about moving on to some of the other, since the 90s, but we were talking about Scream and Idle Hands, The Faculty briefly. Zach hasn't seen it. Urban Legend, The Craft, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. So we're talking specifically about the teen ones.
Well, like going back to The Craft, I remember like there was a huge like social kind of awakening after that film. I remember everyone was suddenly
bisexual.
Oh, that yeah, and it was just awesome. Like it just completely changed everything, not just in America but around the world. So yeah, it was awesome.
So Ash replies, I watched those both in the 90s as a young teen. Love Stephen King's It, and my favorite is Rose Red. I have not seen Rose Red.
You need to. It's really, really good.
And another Stephen King. So I think my first Stephen King horror might have been, is it Secret Window? Is that one, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have that one on DVD too. Which was 2004.
My first Stephen King movie was Stand By Me.
That's awesome.
Cool.
All right. How about Disturbing Behavior? Have you guys seen Disturbing Behavior? I don't think I have. Apparently, it's a lot like The Faculty, starring Katie Holmes.
I think that one came, but I remember that one. That one was quite interesting because like that was all the hot new teens or early 20s people just shoved into one film.
How have I not heard of this one? Maybe I have and I just don't remember it.
I think that's the one with Josh Hartnett, no? But I could be wrong.
James Marsden.
Oh my God.
There you go.
James Marsden, Nick Stahl.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
Put it on your list.
And then Cujo is horrifying. I'm not familiar with that one either. I'm gonna write it down so I can go check it out.
About the killer dog?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's not
Cujo.
He's actually on the cover. So.
You know what? Just stop with this this stream.
What? You want me to stop the stream?
Yeah. Until you know.
Oh, because I haven't seen it. Look, that's why I had specific ones that I was talking about. The ones that I watched as a teenager. Look, we can do a follow-up one once I've watched these other ones. How about that? There's a reason I was sticking to 90s teen horror films, Zach.
See, Ash has all these great suggestions, and
I am writing them down now. Okay, I will go check them out. Okay, so there you go, Sharad. It is the Crazy Dog one.
Cool.
Yeah, because I'm not really a horror movie person. I will watch, like, obviously I watched a lot of the 90s teen horror movies, but most of the ones that come out I'm not really interested in. I'm more interested in like more unique ones. Like I said, I watched Missing and Searching and Afraid in the last few years. So let's see. Ash says I got some horror movies to watch. Lol, I just have no life and love movies. So I've seen Alien. Oh, a lot.
Oh.
Sorry, no, a lot. Sorry, that was a typo. No, but I have seen Alien. I have not seen the other Alien films, but I've seen the first one. Have I seen Blair Witch? Yes, I have seen Blair Witch. I did not appreciate Blair Witch though.
Oh,
No,
Sharad, who's that?
Sorry.
oh, that was my maid popping in. She's actually in her last week, so she'll be leaving next week. So, so we're all struggling a little bit.
I was like, there's a Blair Witch just crossing me.
right at that moment. Ooh, what's going on? There's someone.
She was never
It's
even there.
behind you. Sorry, I just binged Key and Peele recently because it's leaving Netflix, and in one of the final episodes, they had like a horror movie spoof where there's this there's these like four guys sitting around a table, and they keep blaming each other for things happening around the house, and you can see like this creature that seems like a ghost that's like doing these things like in the background of all of the clips, and then it turns out that person is actually not a ghost, is just like one of the housemates, and they're just not blaming. So it kind of felt like that.
Mm, mm.
There you go. That's pretty funny.
Okay, let's see. Ash says, there you go. It's one of those movies you either love it or hate Blair Witch. I love it, but it's not so scary as we watched. I don't think I found it that scary even when I first watched it in the 90s. Maybe because by the time I watched it, I'd already heard stuff about it, that it kind of had already lost its appeal for me, even though I hadn't seen it yet. I don't know.
But again, it's like the idea that what happened, like these three kids that were missing, like nobody, it wasn't a big news, nobody heard it, and then just out of the blue, we're making a movie. This is the footage that we found. That whole rawness of it all was just
Yeah, I mean, like I think the reason why it became such a big hit was like, was it real? Was it fake?
Right.
Like, for example,
That is-
all the actors, like the character names were their first real names, right? And none of them were quote unquote big actors. And it was fantastic. I mean, it's the first viral marketing.
Oh
project. So,
yeah,
it was
no,
great.
absolutely, it had that impact. I do remember that side of it, like people talking about it. It's like, it seems like this is a real thing. I don't remember if by the time I watched it, it had already come out. That it was like it was just marketing. I did not see it in the theater for sure. When was it? Was it 96 that it came out? Or
yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Because see, I was 12 in 96.
99.
Oh, 99?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still didn't watch it in the theater though.
So I have a little PTSD with Blair Witch because I was one of those guys that was working in the cinemas.
Oh,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and maybe out of the 10 showings that they had a day of Blair Witch, but a solid 7 of them would have, like, I would have to clean up like vomit because people were.
Are you
Well,
serious?
some people were just getting a little, motion sickness.
yeah.
But one person said like, "Oh, I puked because it was just too scary for me." I'm like, "How did?"
Oh,
like,
wow. Wow.
like, yeah.
Okay. We have another comment from Ash here. Yeah, and the horror of being lost in the woods and having someone attack you when you're most vulnerable.
Again, it's the whole like leaving things to your imagination.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that was a film that did that. You didn't see
The Witch, right?
with it.
Yeah, you didn't see The Witch.
You never saw it. But again,
Mm.
I think I only watched that film once. So
Boo.
Ash is commenting on your vomit. Sorry, Zach. Ew. Yeah. Oh yeah. Shaky video for sure.
Yeah, I think I think that there was a couple of sequels. I remember there was one sequel to that, and it was like, I think it was called Blair Witch: The Lost Tapes, or I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But it was filmed like a movie, like
Yeah, that's the second one.
the second one, yeah. And I remember watching that in the cinema because I was there with high school friends, and we were watching it, and I just remember just going, "What is this?" Like, it didn't make any sense at all. It was awful. It was awful.
Yeah, I never watched the sequel, probably because I didn't like the first one. So I'm very picky with some of my viewings. I'm like, I will not watch a sequel if I didn't like the original one.
What was your beef?
Unless it has an actor that I really, really love in it, I think. Like I hated Meet the Parents, even though I love Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. And so that almost made me not want to watch Meet the Fockers sequel. But I did because I love Ben Stiller. And I was like, "Oh, I hope it's better than the first one." I don't think it was. I don't remember. There you go. Sharad, Ash remembers the sequel too.
Yep. Like it was. I remember watching it in cinema with a couple of friends, and all of us remember afterwards were like. I remember the girls were like, "Oh my god, that was so scary!" And I remember looking at this my classmate Jason, and I remember looking at him. He looked at me, and we both were like, "It just wasn't good."
Different tastes.
Different tastes.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a lot of different styles of horror films. I remember when Saw came out, and I'm like, I was like, I don't think I'm really into the gory horror films. It didn't do it for me. Clearly, I had a very distinct flavor of film that I like for my horrors.
Yeah, I think the first one was so unique, and it was great. But then later on, it just turned into torture porn, where they were like, okay, like how can we like get the most bang for our buck thing? And I remember later, I think they made 6 or 7 of them. I'm not sure. And like it got to a point where even the cops investigating Jigsaw ended up joining his team later on, and I was like, okay, dude, like, all right, I'm tapping out. I'm sorry, I'm tapping out.
All right, Ash has a question for us. Sorry, I'm not highlighting the laughy faces.
13 Ghosts.
13 Ghosts comes out.
I think that was in 2000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 Ghosts.
That one had
2001. 2001. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't like the gory stuff either, like Hostel. I don't think I watched Hostel. I remember was it called Joyride? With that lanky kid, Justin something.
Justin Long.
Justin Long.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it Joyride?
I think it's Jeepers Creepers.
Or Jeepers Creepers. That's the one I was thinking of.
That was a good one. That was a good
one. Joyride was different horror, right, with Paul Walker? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, Joyride's Paul Walker. All right.
What did you say?
All right, but wait. Did Paul Walker just do a lot of films with cars? Is that pretty much
Yes, he did. Yeah. Most of them are Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
He was another one I had a huge crush on.
Of course.
Look, at least I had crushes on some of the women as well. It wasn't just the guys. Here you go. Ash D also liked Joyride. God. Candy Cane. And Paul Walker. Now I'm trying to remember if I have that film on DVD or not. I don't think I do, but I'm gonna have to go check because I was addicted to Paul Walker, I guess.
Wasn't he in this film? I don't know whether this was 90s. It was called was it Tammy and the T-Rex?
Oh my god, I do not know this film.
Oh god. Like, I
What
think it was.
are you watching? What porn are you watching?
1994. Okay. Yes, it is Paul Walker. Okay. Let me read this and let me know what you think. Okay. The film centers around a high school student named Tammy, whose boyfriend Michael has his brain implanted in the body of a robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex by a mad scientist.
What?
And it's amazing. It's great. Denise Richards and Paul Walker.
Wow. I was trying to remember which was the teen rom-com he was in, and it was She's All That. Because I couldn't remember it was that one or Whatever It Takes. But yeah, oh my god. So I think She's All That was the first thing I saw Paul Walker in.
Wasn't that?
Oh no, wait. He was in Pleasantville as well. What?
Okay. Yeah, I think all of them were in like a shit ton of films back in the day, all different ones.
Yeah, Ash is commenting on the Jeepers Creepers one.
Doesn't Jeepers Creepers have like 10 sequels as well?
Yeah.
Surely not that many. Has it really?
I mean,
I only know about a second one.
Because they delve into the
past, right?
Yeah. Like the origins of the Scarecrow.
Oh shit. There's 5.
Where evil began.
Right? It seems like there are 5 if I just type it in the Wow. Horror movies are like, that's the genre for a multitude of sequels. That is the genre that gets the most sequels, I feel like. Because how many Halloween movies are there by now?
Oh, God knows. But I think it's just a general rule of law. Like horror movies usually are usually the cheapest to make, and they're the most popular ones, right? So
yeah, because movie blood isn't very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I have horror movie blood makeup on my face. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I don't think it was very expensive. Okay, Ash says the first 2 Jeepers Creepers are good, and then after that, maybe stop. Good.
I don't even remember what the second one. Like I remember, have you two seen Jeepers Creepers?
I've seen the first one. I don't remember if I saw the second one.
I just remember like the last shot of Jeepers Creepers got me, the one with Justin Long at the end. You just see his head with That's the thing I remember. But the rest of them, I'm just like.
What was the song? It was really haunting.
I don't remember. I feel like I need to watch some 2000s horror films next, and that can be like a follow-up to this stream. Actually, remember, because the 90s teen horror films are the ones that I've watched the most. Like I would watch them not on repeat, but I've seen them, the ones that I brought up, countless times because I have them on DVD. But the 2000 ones that I've seen, I don't think I watched them more than once. Yeah, Ash likes the ending too. There you go, Sharad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Jeepers. Yeah.
Do you think a 90s horror film could work today?
You get the hot Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like it's the same franchise, Scream, right? So it's nothing quote unquote original. It's not an original IP, is what I mean.
So you want an original 90s style horror film
today,
made today?
Do you think that will work?
I think that they could, but it would take a millennial to be making it, like, because these must be the people that are making the movies that are kind of flashbacks to our generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can't be under Disney.
Don't get me started, man. Yeah.
All right, Ash is commenting on the song Jeepers Creepers. Take a look at those peepers. Those are the lyrics. Been a long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, Ash agrees. If you get the right director and actors for the parts, you can. And then question, like a remake or a whole new movie? A whole new movie is what you were thinking, right?
Yeah, I mean, the point of any remake, I mean, just from my perspective, a point of any remake is that you've got a different story to tell.
Yeah. You know? Not like the remake of Psycho, which was shot for shot exactly the same as Alfred Hitchcock's original, just starring different people.
Yeah, like honestly, like the shot for shot thing, and you don't buy Vince Vaughn as this serial killer, right? So I mean,
it was so bad.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, there was this. What was it? There was. I mean, the closest thing I could think of was something that tried to tell something different. Was, do you guys remember the Total Recall remake, the one with Colin Farrell in it?
Did I watch it? I remember it came out, but I don't remember if I
Jessica
watched
Biel
it.
And Kate Beckinsale.
Yes. I think I probably watched it, and if I did, I don't remember.
Yeah, I appreciated that they tried something different. There was a different thingy they were trying to do, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, it just doesn't work. And whenever they do a remake for remake's sake, you're like, what are you doing? And I mean, are you telling something new? 9 times out of 10, obviously, it's because obviously the production company is trying to retain the IP, right? So they have to. They have to remake it.
Like when they made the Amazing Spider-Man because they needed to hang on to the IP.
Yeah.
It's not just the Spider-Man series. It's just anything within that Spider-Man world. That's why you see all these.
Oh yeah. I hate how they're making so many movies about the Spider-Man villains that I just don't give a damn about. Like, there's a Kraven the Hunter movie coming out soon.
I don't mind
why.
I mean, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so
I've seen the trailer for it a few times now, and I was like, it doesn't seem that appealing to me. I told Sharad I went to see the third Venom film yesterday. I'm fine with watching them, but like,
I asked her the same thing, and she was like,
just the first one is the best of them all. And it's just, it's more symbiotes. The second one had one extra symbiote, and this one had a whole bunch of symbiotes.
You think Carnage would be like the one to like?
Carnage should have been better than it turned out to be.
It seems like they did cut a few corners.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, we've got another comment from Ash here. Let's see. Yeah, but you don't want to get too far away from the original plot either, like Pet Sematary remake, where they changed a big plot point at the moment. Call it a sequel. Yeah, I haven't seen the remake. I think I saw the original one. I think I saw the original. It might have been one of the horror films that I saw before I.
Who was in it? Who was in it?
I was too young when I saw it. So I don't remember like anything. Like this is pre-Scream, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the original one.
Yeah.
And then they came out with one with the kid from T2.
Okay.
Ed Furlong.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh, huh.
he did the remake.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Ash agrees with the stop making Venom movies.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make any more. I think it seemed like they left it at that. I think that
But we all want that
the
face off.
the final end closing credits after the credits cutscene, I think, was a prelude to Kraven the Hunter. I think. So there you go. You don't need to watch it now. That's all you
Thank
need
you.
to know.
Thank you.
All right. In the original, the guy who played Herman Munster is in it in the Pet Cemetery remake.
Hmm.
Oh, the original one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Original.
Okay. Would you classify the Addams Family and Addams Family Values as horror or purely comedy or comedy horror?
I don't think we can even consider it to be quote unquote horror. I mean, the scariest thing I could think of is it is the hand, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean that scared me a little bit as a kid. But I mean, I remember watching all of them with by myself and with my older sister and then my mum later on. I was laughing the entire
Well,
time.
it's rated PG-13,
Yeah.
but it is classified as comedy/horror. I'm going by what Google's telling me right now on my phone.
I don't know. Like, I mean, like me personally, like it was more of a family film.
Yeah,
So I personally didn't see it as horror.
Mm-hmm.
It was like more of a spoof, wasn't it? So yeah.
Was it Adams?
Adam's Family.
Family.
Right.
Yeah. Ash agrees. Comedy for Addams Family. Fun Halloween film though. Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, what was this in response to, Ash? They say that about so many movies. This is the last one, and then boom. In response to Venom. Yeah. Boom, another strike. Yeah. That happens, and then like we've established, there's like been a couple more Scream movies in the last few years. When we thought it was done, in the early 2000s. Yeah.
I mean, they kind of wrapped up the Scream in the trilogy, right? Then next thing, the fourth one came out, then the fifth one, and then boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I'm the cousin twice removed.
You are my sisters, cousins, neighbors, brothers, first removed.
All right, here's a good comment though. Okay, so depending on how old you were in the 90s, Jurassic Park was pretty scary. I remember watching it very young. I was very young when I watched it as well. What is technically the genre of Jurassic Park?
It is thriller.
Is it really?
Yeah, because it's a Michael Crichton book.
Adventure/sci-fi, according to Google.
Hmm.
Yeah, there you go. But it was. I remember I saw it in the movies in the theater. God, and it came out in 93, so I would have been 10, 9. Oh my god! How did I watch that at 9 years old in the movie theater?
I remember when it came out in the cinemas. It was this huge cultural thing. It wasn't just this country, that country. Everyone had to go see it, and it was packaged as a family film. So
yeah. But it was scary. I mean, I'm glad I didn't go see it without without my. I think I saw it with my dad. I don't know if my mum came as well. Probably just my dad. I think my parents had probably separated by 93. So yeah, there you go. Well, Ash thinks it's sci-fi horror. So we can ignore what Google's telling me. Let's create our own genres and decide for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like that jump scare with the Jeep.
Yeah.
So many scary moments for Jurassic Park. You know, I think But the funniest moment was the guy getting eaten from the toilet. That was the best. That is the best scene, hands down.
What's wrong with you?
Poor guy, yeah.
The toilet is a man's sanctuary.
It's all safe.
Yeah. Maybe it's funny to me because I was a girl. I don't know.
Okay, so if there's one way I do not wish to go is on the toilet.
Look,
don't shoot me in the toilet. Like, don't eat me while I'm on the toilet.
Okay. My scariest way to go. I live in California and we get earthquakes here, right? I've never been here when there's been a serious one and stuff, but sometimes I'll get woken up in the middle of the night, and I used to sleep completely naked, so I was terrified of dying that way while asleep in an earthquake and then getting found like that.
You're like that girl in every single horror movie that's like, I'm gonna sleep naked.
Like, this is the perfect stream for me to be talking about it on. Okay, there you go.
And then you're just like running down the stairs like naked, like no.
I don't sleep like that anymore. Look, Ash agrees with me with the Jurassic Park toilet scene. That was the best scene. There you go. I'm claiming that. It's not just me.
Okay, so a little segue though. Have you guys seen Velocipastor?
Yeah, man. Yes.
No, but it sounds hilarious, so I'm writing it down.
It's amazing. You need to watch it. Put it on your list and watch it today.
I've just written it down. I can't watch it. It's 9:21 here, Sharad.
I can't. After the stream, go watch it immediately. Amazing. So good.
Is it horror? Is it
is it streaming? Okay, I'm gonna Google it now. What
is
it? Is it streaming? Otherwise, I'll have to.
No,
I don't think so. It could be on Amazon. No.
You know what the streaming platform I would create? I create like B movies streaming platforms, like just those straight to DVD or straight to VHS kind of.
Yeah, that's the best kind.
It looks like I could probably pay for it on one of the platforms that I have. I will look for it at my local library and see if I can check it out, so I don't have to pay for it. That's how I usually. That's how I usually watch my stuff if I don't want to pay for it.
People also use movies, but I don't know. You're too good to use.
Look, Ash wants to watch it too.
It's amazing. Good. Yeah, it's great.
Ash, where are you based, Ash? Are you in the States like me as well? My guests are streaming in from Malaysia, so it's like, what time is it there right now? Like 11:23 a.m. for them. Right? Did I get that time right?
12:23 p.m.
Oh, 12. Oh my God. Oh yeah, it has been a couple of hours. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Okay. It's been longer than I thought. Here you go. Ash loves those kinds of movies. Straight to DVD B movies. Yeah.
I mean, would 90s teen horror be considered B movies today?
Huh.
Would 90s?
I feel like Idle Hands might have been, but I don't know about the other ones.
Well, the other ones had like high production values, but like if you had, let's say, like Idle Hands, do you think that'd be more of a cult classic today?
I feel like I feel like Idle Hands felt like a cult classic back then, right? Oh my gosh. Ash is watching from Maine, where it is 12:30 a.m. right now. Thank you for staying up. I don't know what your usual bedtime is. I'm usually in bed at that time, unless I'm distracted and working on some writing project or something.
Is it Maine where everything happens in the Stephen King universe?
I feel like that might have been where Secret Window was set, right? I feel like that's where Secret Window was set.
I think every Stephen King
Salem's Lot there too.
Wouldn't be surprised. Salem's Lot.
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
No.
You need to stop watching stuff, Dom.
I've seen a ton of things. I just don't happen to watch everything that everyone watches. Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh, okay. There you go. See, Ash agrees. Idle Hands, for sure, cult classic. Bride of Chucky would be, if it wasn't Chuck, if that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I haven't watched any of the Chucky films either. I know. I told you I don't watch that many horror films.
Are you planning to?
Huh? Am I planning to now? Am I trying to?
Are you going to?
Look, you guys have given me a list of things to check out. So I will try and watch a few more that I haven't seen yet. There you go. Stephen King grew up in Maine and started writing there.
Yeah, because I think like every film or even every book, everything's all happens in Maine, and I'm just like, strange. Okay.
It is easier to write about places that you are familiar with, right? I'm more likely to write about places that I've been. Even if I haven't lived there, if I've been there, then it's easier to write about. Yeah, especially if you're writing a memoir. Sorry, I'm not gonna talk about that tonight, Zach. We did enough talking about that last stream. Is this okay? Yes. Okay. I will watch some Chucky movies. I know what they're basically about. You know what? I think one of my first Gremlins is a horror, right? Sort of.
Horror comedy, yeah.
Horror comedy. Yeah, I think that one it might have been one of my first ones that I saw.
I think the early Gremlins films, they tried to be more horror-ish. And then as the films went on, they became more and more comedy-based after that, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because, they're puppets and they look silly.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, there's one thing, now that we mentioned, there's one thing from the Gremlins that still sticks with me. I don't know whether, Papi, I don't know whether this resonates with you as well, but there was one thing where all the Gremlins would kind of power together to form one giant ball, and they'll roll over people like really, really fast.
Right.
Yeah. And the thing was the scary thing was they would roll over people, and very, very quickly, and like from person head to toe, all would be left would be bones.
Oh my god!
That would be Critters, my friend.
Critters, thank you. That scared me. That scared me. Critters, yeah, thank you. Critters, yeah.
And fun fact about the Critters, like I remember the first time watching it, like they had bounty hunters from space, so they had to kill these guys, and they were a faceless being, and this one bounty hunter just came across a Playboy and became the Playmate of the Month, and he's like, yeah, kill Christ.
Wow.
Yeah. And that got me watching that movie.
Okay, let me bring in some of Ash's comments again. Okay, so Maine has the perfect horror settings for a lot because of dark woods and people far away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Ash also agrees that Gremlins is great, although it's more of a Christmas horror for Ash. It's been so long since I've seen it, so I don't remember the Christmas part. Same with Edward Scissorhands or Black Christmas. What about Nightmare Before Christmas? There you go. Critters are creepy little creatures.
Wasn't there a Gremlins movie when they all they all got shit faced during Christmas. Like, wasn't that in?
That was Gremlins 2 in New York.
Yes. That was awesome.
See, that's how you do a movie podcast.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. That's how you do it. Well done.
See, this is why I needed guests, right? Because I would be like, no, I genuinely, I was feeling like, man, I need to talk to people about movies again. And these are the movies that I'm watching at the moment. So let's make a new stream. I had so much fun last week with Zach talking about and Sim, Sharad, who you know, talking about Baby Reindeer. So I was like, I need to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Are you capable of watching like a new film a day? Like, do you have the time to do that?
I mean, I'm unemployed, but I should also be looking for work, sure. Like, I do have requirements to receive unemployment benefits.
Okay. All right. So,
and I'm already like streaming at least a couple of episodes of Demon Slayer with my daughter a day during lunch. So it's like,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. That's
so I have to be careful with things. But you know, I watched 3 90s teen horror films in a day 2 Sundays ago. So it just it depends what I'm filling up for and
research.
Just if we do another stream, then that gives me an excuse to watch them, and maybe I can claim, oh well, maybe I will make money from this one day. Put a donate button somewhere.
That's the dream.
All right. Yeah. So Ash said yes. The Christmas one was in 2. They had all the iconic. Look, we're all very entertaining. And Ash loves talking movies too. Thank you so much for tuning in, Ash. Sometimes I stream and I'll occasionally get viewers and they don't comment, and that's fine. You know, I'm fine with. But I always like having guests, so I have someone to talk to, even if nobody's actually chatting with us in the chat. But it's nice to know that people are enjoying it. What's that? We had like 4 or 5 concurrent viewers at the same time last week, and no one said anything in the chat. So it was just like, you never know, right? Like, who's watching? I like to think that if you're having that many ongoing viewers not saying anything, one of them might be an ex. Like, just curious what you're up to.
Maybe.
But they don't want people to know that you're watching.
That'd make it for that. I think that would make for a good horror movie, though, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Look, my last stream, half the time I was talking about an ex, so like that was what was going on. Like, is he watching because he's curious what I'm saying about him? I don't think he was watching. It's just like, you know. Anyway, all right. Ash thinks I should start a reaction channel. React to all the horror movies I haven't seen. What, as I'm watching them?
Yeah. Reaction channels. I mean, I was actually thinking about starting one myself because it's a lot of people are into them and it's fun to do. Only thing is you'd have to know about copyright, obviously, and how to go about it. But it's a big platform on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I think my favorite ones are to watch kids react to Linkin Park or like all these old bands.
Oh yeah, I've seen like, people reacting to stuff from our era.
Is this oldies?
Well, I think Sim was posting earlier today about how his son is in a band and they were singing or doing a song from Alicia Keys, which was like a classic now. I was like, oh my god.
Jesus.
So would you think that I would need to create a whole new channel for doing reaction stuff? Because like I've had this YouTube channel for, I want to say, since like 2007 maybe. And
you can make it into a short.
I have a lot of different things on it, and you do have to get like you have to meet a certain number of requirements in order to have live streaming access and that sort of thing. And it, videos longer than 15 minutes, and I obviously have that with this account. But I have so many different things on this channel. Like I have my improv shows, or some of my improv shows, some of my stand-up, short films that I made, my Lego live streams. Like I don't care. I'm just going to put everything all in the same place.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I think if you put them into different playlists, that's usually never a problem. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's generally how I do it.
Yeah.
All right. So Ash Ash says, love watching reacting stuff. It's fun to see someone experience something you love for the first time. All right, I might see if I have it in me to do something like that. I'll have to decide what room to do it in. And Ash would sub.
Oh, that's very nice.
Thank you so much, Ash. Like this is great. This is why I wanted to do more theme stuff. Like all my Lego streams, I was just building and chatting about random stuff or whatever was going on at the time, whatever I felt like chatting about. But yeah, after that, the baby reindeer stream last week, I was like, yeah, I want to do more theme stuff because it seemed like people were tuning in. Like I've had quite a few people watch the baby reindeer stream after it aired, and people found it by searching for baby reindeer. I'm like, well, maybe that's how I need to get more views. Like it got a ton more views than what my Lego streams usually get, so it was nice.
You gotta love that algorithm. So
yeah, that's right. And I assume that Ash came across this because of the 90s teen horror movie theme. So yeah. There you go. You're welcome. Thanks for keeping me company so late at night. No problem. Not at all, Ash. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, I had no idea like how long this conversation was going to go for. Like, we haven't even been talking exclusively about 90s teen horror movies. I think we stopped talking about those at like 30 minutes in or something, and we went more general horror. And then you exposed me for my lack of horror watching.
Yeah. As we should have.
We need to I don't know, maybe have a stream on a genre that I am more versed in than horror. Perhaps. I don't know. I just watch such a variety of genres though. I'm genre agnostic. There's not very many genres that I dislike watching. The few that I prefer not to watch would be westerns, war movies, and sports movies. But there are always exceptions to those. Right?
Fair enough.
Yeah. So when you're genre agnostic, then you like kind of dip your toes into the different genres, and don't watch everything across the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay, so Ash literally looked up Halloween movies live and found me. There you go. That's why I wanted to do this like just around the time of Halloween, right? This tried to stay in the 90s. 2000s is where a lot of Ash's favorites came from. Like, oh, Ghost Ship! Oh my god, I remember that one. Do you guys remember Ghost Ship?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. That one, I think I've seen that one a couple of times. I remember that one feeling very unique. Let's see. Yes, not a big fan of those movies either. Oh, the genre ones. More horror, drama, thriller, and sci-fi. Yeah. I watch a lot of drama, thriller, sci-fi, rom-coms, comedies, action movies. I'm a huge nerd for the Fast and Furious movies. So if you ever want to do a stream talking about exclusively the Fast and the Furious movies, last year, all right, before 10 came out, I binge watched all 9 that came before them.
Okay.
So was that last year? It might have been the year before. Time is meaningless to me.
It's really funny you mentioned that. I was watching this segment the other day with Christopher Nolan, the director, and he was saying like his guilty pleasure is Fast and Furious films. He loves watching them.
It is a guilty pleasure, but it's so like they're so stupid, but I love the characters and like the whole family camaraderie, and like it's just they get more and more outlandish with every single film. I love them. All right, Ash loves a good comedy as well, but did not watch Fast and Furious after Tokyo Drift. I, meanwhile, did not watch Tokyo Drift until I watched them all in order a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the order?
We don't know.
So, Tokyo Drift was the third one.
No. But what was the order that you watched them in?
Oh, no, I watched them all in order without Tokyo Drift. Like I saw most of them in the movie theater, right? But when I rewatched them all in order before 10 came out. Actually, I watched them all in order. I borrowed 9 from the library, and then watching that made me borrow all the other ones from the library. So I could watch them all in order, like catch up on remembering who all of the characters were, because they have so many characters and it's hard to kind of keep track of them and remember all the details. So I'm just like, I want to watch them all back to back to have it all fresh to see what happens. Yeah. So did I already click on this one? Ash does enjoy the first one.
The first one was great, yeah.
Because, there's that Paul Walker. But that's why you got to watch them through until his departure, which is so... I cried at the end of that film.
Yeah.
I cried so hard at the end of that film. And the song that they have playing, I'm like, that song is just scorched in my memory as associated with that scene, right?
Is that
anytime I hear
Charlie Puth song? It's been a
yeah, that one.
Yeah. Charlie Puth.
Yeah. I love that song so much. But I'm a big on because I'm such a big movie person, I do associate a lot of songs with movie scenes. And I'm like, if it's strong enough song in a movie scene, I was like, ooh, which reminds me, okay, I'm going to bring it back to 90s teen horror films. In Urban Legend, there's a scene with Joshua Jackson, and they had a brief clip of the opening theme for Dawson's Creek.
Oh, no.
While he was in the scene, I was like, oh, that's it. Oh my God. I found that really funny. So yeah, like that's kind of where I have a lot of associations of music to movies like that. And I have a lot of movie soundtracks, right? The Zoolander soundtrack, oh my God, has so many good choices with Relax and I Started a Joke. Like, oh my God. So,
that's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Look, Ash is the same kind of way. Loving when soundtracks do that. Yeah. See, look, Ash remembers. It's in when they're in the car that song happens just before he gets killed. So yeah, that was the most. Urban Legend was the movie I was most recently watched of these teen 90s horror films. So
that's
it's
cool.
still fresh on my memory because it wasn't that long ago that I watched it. And Ash was a big Dawson fan. I actually I don't know if I ever watched a full episode of it. I never watched the whole series. I know. I was a Party of Five girl. I and what Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Those are the things that I was watching. X-Files, you know, those are the things I was watching back then. And well, I guess no, I'm from teen dramas in that era. I guess I peaked a little bit early because I was 90210 fan. Like I watched that with my mum.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah. So yeah, but Dawson's Creek was, I don't know, maybe because I thought James Van Der Beek was a bit of a I don't know. I guess I didn't really. I liked Katie Holmes, but I liked her in movies that I saw her in. So I guess there wasn't really anyone in the cast that I was particularly drawn to. I guess, even though I saw James Van Der Beek in movies, which he was fine with as well. Here you go. Look, Ash also loved Party of Five and Buffy. This is what got us into the 90s teen horror films. I feel like, you know, what your Nev Campbell and Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sarah Michelle Gellar. So there you go. That's the way. I'm trying to think if there were any other teen dramas that I watched in the late 90s. I guess by then Friends was what was popular. Yeah. Which wasn't teens. It was, you know, they were 20s. Oh, okay. So Ash says watch with mom as well and eating ramen noodles while watching 90210. Yeah. Yeah, those were all shows that I watched with my mum. 90210, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, and X-Files. They were all things that I watched with my mum. We also watched The Practice, which was a legal drama, and Law and Order, and Law and Order Criminal Intent.
SVU.
And SVU, but I think Criminal Intent was my favorite because I must have had a crush on Vincent D'Onofrio. So seeing him in Daredevil was like, oh yes. Speaking of which, him and Charlie Cox are appearing at the Fan Expo convention that I'm going to at the end of November, and I'm very excited.
That's fun.
This is why I need to stay in the US, guys. Like, as much as I love and miss Malaysia and would love to spend more time there, I couldn't move back there permanently.
Understandable.
Ash, this is how I know these guys from Malaysia. I used to live in Malaysia for 5.5 years and met these guys through doing stand-up comedy there. Yeah. Papi Zak still does stand-up comedy. So if you like comedy, go check him out on Instagram, and that's the main place to check you out, right, Zach?
Correct, Mundo.
All right. All right. Zach, you want to tell the stream what you're doing?
I'm just gonna step out for a bit. I got some things I had to pick up from the laundry and lobby.
All right, that's no problem.
I'll be back.
We'll see you when you get back. It's all right. Look, there you go. Ash is, well, I should have waited until Zach came back. Ash, Zach's handle on Instagram is just Papi Zak, PapiZak. So there you go. I also do stand-up comedy, but I am not a professional like Zach. So yeah, I do. I've been doing stand-up comedy on and off for almost 25 years, Sharad, since I was 16.
Oh, wow.
I was 16
Really?
when I started. Yeah. I was 15 when I started writing comedy, and I recorded 2 CDs worth of comedy stuff on my computer, burnt them as CDs, and sold them when I was 15 years old. I was like, so that was like my start into comedy. At that time, I was like, I don't think I could perform. I was too shy to get up on stage to do it. And then I learned about a stand-up comedy competition called Raw Comedy in Australia. It's done all around the whole country, and the finals are at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. And so when I found out about that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give that a try.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, on and off, I would hit open mics at different intervals. I was doing it regularly until I was 18. Gave up for a bit because got soured on some stuff that was going on at the time, and then went back to it. I think I entered the competition again a couple of years later, maybe, and went out and was doing it again a little bit when I met my ex-husband. Pulled him in for a little bit, took another long break, then about a year after, or almost a year, no. So after I moved to Malaysia, I got like super depressed because I had like no social life and stuff. And then I went back to the Melbourne Comedy Festival that year. That was 2009. So April 2009, I was like, oh man, I'm missing this. I'm missing this part of my personality, right? And then I was like, oh, man, I wish I could do comedy. And I was like, at that time, I'm like, there's no way that there's stand-up comedy in Malaysia. That's what I thought. And then I was encouraged to Google it. And that's how I came across Time Out KL Comedy Thursday. And so I went to the first show I went to was in June 2009, and Papi Zak was one of the people that I met that night. Another one that I met there was Kevin J, who has a Netflix special if you want to check that out, Ash. Just search for Kevin, Kavin.
V-I-N.
Yeah.
J-A-Y. Yeah.
A-Y. I think is it called Everybody Calm Down or something like that, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
And yeah, so that was really cool. And they were all really very encouraging to get me on board. And it was only a few months later, October 2009, that I first braved the stage. I was only supposed to do 5 minutes. I did like 12. But Papi Zak was the person who introduced me that very first time.
That's nice.
Which was super cool. So yeah, so that's how we became friends. And then Sharad, you came along later on during One Mic Stand, right? Which was it 2013 or 2012?
Yeah, give or take around then, yeah.
So there you go. It's been a while. God, that's more than. Of course, I've been living here for 10 years now. So, so Ash thinks that I'm brave. Would be so scared to get up on stage. It was scary at first. I've been doing this a while now, and I've been doing, since moving to San Francisco, I've been doing improv theater, improvisational theater. Some of it's comedic, sometimes it's not, and that helped me really a lot to get more in stage presence, and just getting comfortable being on stage and not worrying if I fucked up. Not giving a damn if I fucked up. And then I was a tour guide for almost 2 years, and that helped me with my memory. with not forgetting or something. So nowadays I can write like 5 minutes of new material, improvise it on the same day that I choose to perform it. Like that's just something I'm capable of doing now, which is I never would have thought that would be me. But yeah, that's kind of what I did at my last couple of open mics that I did. Yeah.
Look at you. That's awesome.
All right, let's see. Yeah, that's awesome. We have all been friends for so long. Yeah. Ash loves improv as well. Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? There were a number of years after I moved here that I didn't really stay in touch very well with my Malaysian friends. that's a story that I kind of talked about on my last stream, if you're curious. No, it was primarily because I was sort of involved with somebody in Malaysia just before I moved here, and then we had a lot of mutual friends, and he ghosted me just after I moved here, which led to me being like, I guess I should let him keep the friends and disappear for a while and focus on my new life here in California. And then it was during the pandemic that I felt like I was feeling more nostalgic for my Malaysian friendships, that I was like, and I started seeing more content from you guys in Malaysia, that I was like, oh man, I want to get back in touch with these guys. So yeah. So that's how it goes. Yeah.
Are you socializing a lot with any of the comedians over there where you are?
A little. Occasionally they'll come up and they'll tell me that my stuff was good, so that helps. But I haven't I haven't done it to the same extent as there's a lot more open micers here, and there aren't very many open mics that I have chosen to go to yet. I usually prefer to go to ones that aren't very far away because I'm lazy. I am doing an open mic this Friday night at the Alameda Comedy Club, which is changing ownership after this weekend. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting up on that stage again one last time before it changes ownership, because it's a great stage. It's a great room to do, and they do their open mics really well, because they basically a way to get the spot is by saying that you're going to bring a bunch of friends, and so it has a better audience than what you would get at a typical open mic, which is predominantly only stand-up comedians that aren't actually paying attention to your jokes, so you can't tell how well you're actually doing with them anyway.
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like Malaysia's open mics tend to draw a bit more of an audience too, depending on which ones you go to and how they're promoted, I guess. But I mean, that was a good thing about One Mic Stand. One Mic Stand was a regular every Tuesday night open mic, and it had a good following of people that just came to watch them. There were some weeks that there weren't very many people in the audience, and it was just the comedians. But most weeks had a decent audience, depending on holidays and whatnot.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, like one thing I really appreciate about them was like how supportive everyone was. You know, like no one was an asshole, and everyone was super like gave really good advice. And yeah, it was awesome. It was nice to just kind of get out of your little bubble and try something different. So it was good fun.
Yeah. And Sharad, I think one of the reasons we connected was because we were both screenwriters at the time, or had some experience screenwriting. I don't think I was regularly writing screenwriting stuff at the time. Was I? I'd written some short films, but I wasn't filming them. If I was writing them at that time, because I have my hands in everything. I do a lot of different creative pursuits. That's why my handle is Dominica Creates, because I was like, I can't focus on one thing.
Yeah, it's the bane of any creative. It's like finishing a project, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I do have one additional YouTube channel other than this one. I have one for my improv business. So any of the improv shows that I've done under the banner of my business called Improvative Productions.
Nice.
And yeah, that's the handle for that one is Improvative, which is spelled I should probably type it somewhere into
there you go.
the screen. Let me see. Captions. Is it? Add one. At because it's a bit of a weird one. Okay. Where did it go? There it is. Here. Yeah. So at Improvative is but I rarely post. But I did post a couple of. I posted a improv show yesterday up there, which was my Secret Lives of Villains show. Very appropriate for Halloween right now.
Mhm.
It's a show that I do with an improviser called Diana Brown, also based in the San Francisco Bay Area. Very popular improviser here. But we do these we dress up as these characters who are villains, or like witches, like kind of nondescript witches, but kind of like yeah, and so they're villains, and we set them in the real world, and they're always like a little bit unusual in the neighborhood, getting chased out of town, and trying to fit in. One of the sisters is likes people more than the other one. I'm the one who doesn't like people. Sometimes I like to eat them. So we have fun with that show, but we don't do it very often. We have taken it to a couple of festivals though. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have what 4 different improv shows that I've done that have gone to festivals.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just recently got back together with my original improv troupe that I was part of when I not too long after I moved here. So we've been doing shows again, which is so exciting because I love performing with those guys. So,
when's the next show?
Our next show for that. Look, maybe there are people watching in the San Francisco Bay Area. My next improv show with the group called Yum is December 7th, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. at Leela Improv Theatre in San Francisco. Yeah, there you go.
Very exciting.
Me promoting my stuff. There you go.
There you go.
making me give shout outs and stuff. Our last show is on this YouTube channel that I'm streaming on right now. If anyone is curious to watch it. And then I have a short that I took from that, which I talk about. One of my favorite improv tenets is mistakes are gifts. It's one of the tenets that I use as my life kind of philosophy now. Like I'm just like, well, I made a mistake. Let's find the gift in this.
Yeah.
And so I have a clip from that show where I'm utilizing that tenet in the scene itself, so you can see how I use it in a scene. But yeah, I love that one. My other favorite improv tenet that I use as a life philosophy is follow the fear. I don't always follow my fear, but it has served me well when I have, like leaving my ex-husband and even going back to Malaysia last year, like reconnecting with everyone going back. That was scary for me because of the aforementioned being ghosted by someone. Sure. and my desire to see if I could reconnect. So that was a big scary thing for me, but followed my fear. Yeah, but it's not always easy.
Awesome.
Huh?
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah. Look, there you go. Ash is going to check out some stuff. So
nice.
It's fun to know that you're actually interested in comedy. That's why I wouldn't normally, like on my Lego streams, I rarely promote all my other stuff. But you know, we've moved on from horror now, clearly. Yeah, I think we kind of exhausted our conversation on the 90s teen horror films.
What are your plans for the rest of what time is it for you over there?
Just after 10 p.m. here. So
what are your plans for the rest of the evening?
the rest of the evening after this, well, I'll have to get rid of my makeup.
Oh.
I can't sleep in this. I've got blood. I've got fake blood on my face. Mascara and my and everything. I've got like really, really thick eyeliner right now. I don't know how well. I mean, let me bring my computer closer to me. So like,
oh wow! Look at you. That's awesome. Okay.
These are my fingerprints that I dragged on my face.
That's awesome. That's cool.
That was me getting into character. I don't normally dress up for Halloween, so I was like, this is a good time for it. I'm gonna do it. I've only worn this stage makeup with blood once before when I did, of all things, a supernatural TV series inspired improv show.
Nice.
And I had the flesh falling off my face.
Oh, bless.
This flesh that I've already like fell off from now, so I didn't even bother to put it back on.
Oh.
All right, Ash needs to get to bed.
Oh,
no worries. It is late in Maine. I understand. Thank you so much for joining us as late as you have. And yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, that's how to find out that I'm going live. I don't. I think sometimes. Well, the last couple of streams, I had like an upcoming kind of announcement on the stream, and I was also announcing them on my Instagram account, which is the same handle as my YouTube, Dominica Creates. So yeah, that's how to find out about when I'm going live again.
All right, Domi, I hate to love you and leave you, but I think I might have to dash up as well.
That is all right. But it's okay. Thank you so much for joining, Sharad.
I had a lot of fun. Let's do this again.
Absolutely.
This was a lot of
fun.
Yeah. So the next time do you have any streams planned coming up soon?
Not yet, but you guys have given me a lot of horror movies to watch, so that's an option.
Okay, well, keep in mind, just
I'll see if there are some other things that because I did this one because of it being Halloween tomorrow, but I'll see if there's some other ones that I want to talk about.
Cool.
Have you? I know I want to do a stream about Gyeongsong Creature, which is a Korean drama on Netflix, horror drama on Netflix. If you want some homework for yourself, Sharad, that's something I was talking to Zach about that one as well.
Yeah, sure. Just send me a message. Just confirming that, and I will do my research.
All right. And Ash says, nice meeting you too, Sharad.
Lovely meeting you too, Ash. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, I guess I will end the stream then. If anyone is watching after the fact and you have not subscribed yet, please do if you want to watch more of this. I would also love if you want to leave comments, what you enjoyed, what you'd like to see. Always open to feedback if there are any particular themes. Let's see what I haven't watched. let's have me talk about something I don't know about. Look, I had Sim as a guest last week who had only watched the first half of the first episode of Baby Reindeer, but he joined us anyway. So we can have people talking about stuff that I don't know shit about.
Sure. It'll be a fresh perspective, so yeah, why not?
All right. Okay. So we'll leave it there. And until next time, thank you so